I don't know if Spoon said the word and just started the stream out immediately getting
What do
demonetized
you
or not,
think?
but yeah, probably. Hello, everybody. Wow.
I
What
muted
an...
myself when I said that. I'm not going to start off saying, hey, look, here's a whole bunch of... It's not my Rummel stream.
Oh, okay.
Rummel streams, I start off by saying all the expletives from the get-go.
Okay. Anywho, hello, everyone. What an absolutely insane, bizarre series of events.
Week.
Oh, yeah, great is certainly a word for it.
Great week. I've seen car
suppose.
crashes that went more smoothly than this week. It's only fucking Wednesday.
Considering we, welcome everyone to the nanny state, you have in fact lived to see man-made horrors beyond your comprehension. We are now here, and so to discuss this, I can think of no one better to discuss said man-made horrors than V. Hello.
Hello.
What's up, V?
Thanks for coming on, because you have a unique financial investment in a certain side of it.
I guess you can call it like that, yeah.
That exists outside of, although I would say the problem with some of that is it's clear how the messaging regarding all of the new extreme forms of censorship, and let's be more clear about what it is, digital ID, what the scapegoat or excuse is that they're using for it, which is, oh, won't somebody please think of the children? And that the only people who have a problem with any of these bills that are being launched essentially simultaneously, and which Scrump called 2 years ago, and Evelyn called 2 years ago when they first announced the precursor to this bill in the UK in 2023, and has been talking about this as being the rollout of digital ID for the last 2 years. However, again, the way it's being framed is that if you have any problem with handing over absolutely all of your personally identifying information to private companies who have maybe some way of engaging in data protection, but probably not, if you have an issue with that, then you are a sex pest and a pedophile. Hooray! And a gooner, or all three, or yes.
Yeah, I've noticed
so...
the word at least on Twitter, right? I don't know how it's like on Facebook and other places, but on Twitter, the word pedophile is used like the word misogynist used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
Like I see if someone is part of the LGBT group, or if they're watching anime, or if they disagree with the Online Safety Act, boom, they're a pedophile. And it's like, okay, that's interesting, because like I know what happened with the word misogynist and the word racist, and now you're going after a third category, like it is what it is, I guess.
I think the bigger issue is that the person who's currently bandying the term around, his name is Peter Kyle, and he doesn't see any of the irony inherent in this. Like this, like short of literally being Peter File from like the IT crowd, you do not get more egregious as this. Also, the person's got a bunch of links to like weird NGOs and like very sketchy orphanages around Kosovo and Romania.
Yeah. Let's see. Scrump just has told us that he's not going to be able to make it because he was called in to babysit last minute, which is too bad. But we'll talk to him. I thought it'd be fun to get the gang back together on that.
The worst possible blunt rotation that you could muster. The one I wouldn't sentence a sex offender to.
Oh my god. So let's get into it, because the problem is with this stuff is that it all came out in this massive deluge over the last week. Again, some of it we've known about for a while. The precursor to this act that just passed through Parliament was put out there in 2023, so it's been around for 2 years. But the new stipulations, the new legislation just came into effect this last Friday. And one of the other things, in addition to, as you mentioned, how the destruction of words like racist and misogynist to have no meaning, and now that applying to pedophile, is another thing that is eerily coordinated with this, is that if you have any problem with it, in addition to being a gooner, creep, pedo, you're also wanting to go back to the historical days of the ancient past before this legislation. It happened on Friday. But there's very corded language about that,
Yeah, like, isn't it interesting how they keep threatening you with the past, when the past had less inflation and had, like, more purchasing power for individuals and more stable jobs?
Terrible. Yeah. It sure is terrible. Let's talk about the lead up to this, though. I'm sharing my screen.
Would you like to go back into a time when the women were in the kitchen and the minorities knew their place?
It's the strangest thing. Like, before that vase got broken...
Don't tell me with a good time.
Before that person went up to that vase and broke it, the vase was not broken. It's amazing what you can observe, when you use fucking eyeballs.
Real. Let's start out with some of the stuff that's led into this, then, and some of the things that have been said and happened over the last couple months.
No, but if you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't be afraid. No, I have plenty to hide, and it is you who should be afraid. I don't. I have no fear at fucking all.
Well, to
Other
be
way
fair,
around.
I think I once said this exact line about Dev, but
Oh, he's at the
Well,
clock.
he's in
Reset
Canada.
the
He's got
clock.
his own things to fear. Although, considering what Dev likes about the state, I don't think there's any oppression the state can enforce
Yeah, I
on him
wanna-
that he wouldn't like.
I want to rescind that statement
Depends
just
what
because
flavor the
it
beer
bears a
is.
resemblance to something Klaus Schwab has said. So this was, this was Klaus Schwab. At least I don't. This was posted earlier.
V, tell us how do you feel about bureaucracy?
Well, it depends. Like some bureaucracy is good, but most is bad. Now, speaking of Klaus Schwab, wasn't he threatened? Wasn't he accused of being a sex pest recently?
Oh,
Well,
imagine
he's
my
German,
shock.
so-
Wait.
Do women
I mean,
like?
look at the guy.
Do women like bold people, like bold but like strong, powerful, influential men?
Well, Spoon is bold
Is he?
and a strong man, and
Strong
I mean
man.
Andrew Tate is bold and rich and certainly got a lot of bitches. So
I see.
Yeah, but they didn't
I'll
like.
put it this way: I've never gotten shit for it. I actually got more women attracted to me when I shaved my head. So
Are you
Yeah, I
bold?
think
Are you
probably
bold like that character in Breaking Bad, like Hank? Because
No.
I think like there's a difference, like between being buff and bold versus being like a soy individual and bold.
no, he's like buff and
He's a gym rat.
shredded. Yeah,
Okay, so he's basically like Hank from Breaking Bad.
yeah.
I see.
I mean,
Women like that, yeah.
I don't
Yes.
cook meth.
Well, yeah.
He wasn't
Not
cooking
yet.
meth.
Yeah.
No, like he was the police officer. He was the one
Yeah.
catching the people that were cooking meth.
I think the bigger issue here is that the important thing is to not look like Mr. Magoo if Mr. Magoo ate children, and that's Klaus
Very
Schwab.
true. Rep Bartholomew Cheesington for 2 says, I'm not a big fan of the government. Quote, Vegeta based. I don't remember when Vegeta said that, but we'll take your word for it. So here's
Oh.
Klaus Schwab. I don't remember when this was.
Just
I just saw it being reposted. So,
and
and it's-
Super Chat was reciting Megadeth lyrics.
it's just everyone, of course, is noticing, doing a little noticing that all of the rollouts of this stuff internationally across the Anglosphere and the European Union appear to be coinciding. The UK just took the first leap, essentially.
I actually
But,
know why. I know why.
But besides having previously introduced the legislation,
Yeah. There's an organization. It's called. Give me a second, and I'll find out the name of it. But it's basically made between the UK, Australia, and France. And the representatives of the bureaucracy, like the Ofcom equivalent of France and Australia, I think it's called the Safety Commissioner. They're all members of this organization, and so they're collaborating together in order to police the internet of the world. In fact, like the name of the organization also talks about them being as a global organization. Let me see if I can find
Right.
it. Yeah.
well, this is Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum, which is also a globalist organization, of course, if
Well,
not
Didn't he
the.
step down?
Kind of
Yes, he has.
Kind of no, because like these ones didn't have like the actual backing of a government, but this one is having like the full backing of the United Kingdom. Okay, so it's called GOSERN. It stands for the Global Online Safety Regulation Network. Right, and
Online safety
yeah,
regulation
and
network,
there is
GOSERN.
actually a link between them and Collective Shout.
Of course. Well, now there's a link between Collective Shout and the Australian government with Melinda, what's her name?
So basically the whole idea is that these three nations, by using the "we care about the children" thing, they can push for online regulation. Like, think about it, right? Like, if you have a system where you decide what is and what isn't safe for children, and it's not just porn, it's like violent content, right? So like, for instance,
Yes. Well, we'll get to that.
yeah, like for instance, a protest. Now, in order to see the protest, right now you have to dox
Melinda
yourself.
10 card.
But
Yes.
imagine if they can flip a switch and you just don't see it at all. Right? Like you have a
Yeah,
truck,
yeah.
you have a trucker protest and something, and they just flip a switch, and now it's a tier above the age verification, and all of a sudden even adults can't see it.
Yes. And that's obvious. That's why. So, V, as many of you may know, is working on a adult video game. And that is, of course, is being used as the scapegoat for this. Is that if you have any problem with this, it's because you're a gooner, again, you're a pedophile, whatever. We just want to protect kids from seeing pornography. And so, again, I said you had a financial interest in it, which is true. but it was clear within hours. I mean, it was clear beforehand, to be fair, but it was evident in the behaviors of these governments within hours of passing this stuff. Well, in the UK, and then also because the UK stuff is affecting the entire world internet right now, that it has nothing to do with protecting the kids from seeing pornography. First of all, because it's very easy to bypass. And secondly, because the first thing they did with it was stop people from seeing protests, which we'll get into.
The thing is, like, it's not like a financial interest, because I didn't do the game for financial reasons. I literally did it like 2 years ago. I was on Twitter, and I was like literally sick of seeing like so many trans characters being snuck into video games. And every time people complained, it's like this character from Diablo, this female character looks like a man, or this female character from Dragon Age, right, looks like shit. Immediately be like, oh, you're a gooner, oh, you just want to watch porn, you just want to jerk off. Why don't you make your own game? Why don't you go watch porn? And I was like, you know what? If it pisses these people off so fucking much, fine, I'll do it. Why the fuck not, right? And so, like, I had no idea at the time that the culture will shift to this dramatic degree. Because at the time I just like went, I'll hire a bunch of people that also need a job. Like, I managed to hire a coder from Britain that was ousted from academia because he was white. Like, unironically, it was the diversity initiatives that kicked him off.
I'm not at all surprised.
Yeah, managed to hire an animator from Spain that was about to go homeless. Like, he does really good work. And some artists. And I was like, okay, well, I'm making a video game. It's a legit business, right? It doesn't involve real people. It's just some fucking drawings, right? I looked at Steam, like, what do you need to make? Oh, all characters need to be over the age of 18. Fine, no problem with that. Like, I followed all the rules and everything. And so I was like, okay, well, this is just going to get people to cope and seethe. And I guess it got them so hard to cope and seethe that now there's, like, legislation made against it.
When I said financial interest, I mean, that's the vector of attack, right? Is that, you're a gooner, you have a financial investment in that. So I just think it's important to be clear about it. I mean, obviously, thank you for elaborating on the story as to why you decided to do it, which is about, what I knew about it as well. But that's going to be
my protest, I actually
the attack vector.
Graphics.
Oh, whoa, were you a model or something?
No. I just helped V with like some of the the texting, and there was like a mechanism that I said to him, can you maybe use like an hourglass? I don't know if that's still in the game, V.
He helped design the UI. He's going to be in the credits now.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
I better pass compliance. I'm fucking checking.
Let's get through some of the shit that I get. Oh, fuck.
Meticulously send me shit and ask me like, how does it look and all this kind of shit. Despite the fact that I don't agree with the game on a moral level.
I was just sending you shit to leave me alone, because like I was on Discord and I was working on the game and like constant messages, and I'm like, okay.
No, fuck off me. That is not the case. Piss off.
I don't know.
Spam happy for one fucking day to the point.
But yeah, when I saw you build resistance to it, and I saw it's like, oh, so I can send him this shit and he doesn't block me. Okay, fine.
V, like, I would say, this is dead true. V spammed me so fucking much at one point. Like,
I was curious if there's a limit. I was curious.
I did, but this is the thing. I didn't speak to V for like 6 months.
Oh no, that's a different reason, right? Like that's because like my criticism of Melody Mac, which like it caused
no. It was no.
God, okay.
No, it was the spam. V, it was the spamming shit. Go fucking look.
All right. We'll talk about it after the show. Let's not.
Yeah.
They're gonna take this one outside.
Well, you've also sent me a lot of the stuff you've been working on as you've been progressing through it. So I've also seen some of the how the games come together in a certain extent.
Graphics though.
Yeah, and the writing's really. I think it's looking, sounding, and coming together very nicely.
Do you know how cringe it fucking is? Like when I have to write to people fucking, which is like already fucking cringe, and then someone else tells you, "Oh, that's great writing, V." I'm like, well, I guess thank you. I don't know, like.
What else are you?
So it's like the literary criticism equivalent of being told nice cock.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like,
yeah,
what do I do with that information, It's kind of like when Count Dankula, like I messaged Count Dankula in his DMs, like he showed me a picture of his testicles, and I was like, why though?
He's done this to a lot of people, to be fair.
Yeah, that's apparently the litmus test.
Oh, he showed it to you?
He's not sent it to me, but I have heard from many people that he's done this.
Oh, so he's a misogynist. Like, he doesn't show it to women. Okay, I
Well,
understand.
yes. Yeah, I don't, at least he hasn't shown them to me. Maybe I'm just missing out. But as far as I know, he's shown a lot of people his testicles. Didn't his testicles get on, like, didn't they...
Oh, no, it was after he sold them as a NFT.
NFT, yeah. So,
I
like,
don't think
they're everywhere.
I don't think he technically has, like,
How the hell did we
the
go
photographic
from
rights
V
to his own
writing
nuts.
porn
Wait,
to
he's
Dan's
got
testicles in
hold
the
on,
space
hold
of like
on, spoons.
15
This
seconds.
is interesting. So like there are NFT testicles of Count Dankula. How much
Yes,
are they
there are.
worth? Like how
They
much?
were sold for a lot, if I remember correctly.
Something like
Really?
It was
that.
something ridiculous.
Really? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also a Supreme Court justice. He's a man of many talents. You know.
The amount of people who fell for that was fucking unreal.
And every time he does it, they fall for it again. It's uncanny.
Like, Justice Dankula, like, if you can't fucking tell, that's a troll.
No,
Jesus.
that's clearly a real Supreme Court justice's name, Spoon. Obviously.
Didn't he actually get like his name changed? Like it was like something penis or cock or some shit, and then Elon Musk like blocked people from changing names, and he was stuck in a predicament.
Yes, God, yeah,
I
I
had to
can't remember what he
message
changed
like,
his
the
name to, but it
support.
was
So-
something like that. It was something cock and balls or something
Cock
like
and
that.
ball,
Yeah, and then
yeah,
he couldn't change it back.
So as you can see, I'm in a bit of a predicament here. Could you please help? And the response was, no.
Yeah, it's like
no.
the joke ran its course. Like
It's been
No,
3
you're-
months, nothing can be changed.
Yeah, you're fucked now, buddy. I guess they did at some point. Hasselhopper for 5 says, V didn't even work at Blizzard for 7 years. How can we trust him to make a video game? This is a good question.
Exactly.
don't know if you-
I actually have a person that worked at Blizzard as an artist that worked on my game as well. So
So
There
what you're
you
saying
go.
is that the breast milk will be accurately rendered.
yes.
Nothing else will be any good, but that
Though I
specifically, they've
don't
got
know,
one.
I don't know if Visa and Mastercard is okay with breast milk because like the terms are being very vague and ambiguous. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Not sure. I'll have to call Visa and ask. It's like, what do you think about breast milk? Is that allowed? Is that?
We're gonna get
good?
shit canned by the lactose intolerant crowd. I can tell.
I won't even play the Klaus Schwab clip, but it's just, yeah, oh, if you don't have anything to hide, yeah, you shouldn't have anything to be afraid of. This is the precursor to it. In one sense, it was the WAF talking about it. I didn't know about that, what was it called? That you said, the acronym that started with the G.
Hold on, I'll tell you in a bit.
I posted it in the chat, but I've, it didn't, it also was starting up earlier this year, which is a further evidence of what this is really about, which is that
Goals are
Apple pulled data protection tools from the UK because of the UK government and its increasing encroachment and inability to basically want to work with these companies to protect people's data.
Yeah,
This was in February.
Yeah, so this is actually interesting, right? Like the way they did it, the UK has, I don't know the exact term of it, but they have like a different court where they ask you in secret and you can't make it public the ask. And if you don't comply, they can threaten you with the like terrorism bullshit, right? And so like their secret court can force you to do it, and you have to like remove the data protection without telling anyone that you removed it.
That's insane.
It is.
I know. Kinghood of Mousecon said, I hate being lactose intolerant since I love milk. Well, speaking of milk, by the way, lactose intolerance is one of the things that's been blocked by this bill. Just like to point that out. I'll show you evidence of that. But this was, so Apple was taking
I
an
was
unprecedented
looking about
step of
that.
removing highest level data security tool from customers in the UK after the government demanded access to user data. That's what this is all about. Again, I want to be extremely clear because there are, retards all over Twitter who have bought the lie, hook, line, and sinker, that this is about protecting children, and that the governments, and by the way, it's particularly egregious in the UK, because as I will go over, some of the MPs who are most vocal about this voted against conducting a national inquiry into the grooming gangs or abstained from it. So they do not want to investigate actual but they don't want to investigate the actual cases of children who were raped.
Oh, I know why. It's because they're afraid of violence, right? Like if you look
Well,
at
yeah.
if you look at a
Well, that's their
battered
new
wife,
constituency.
yeah,
That,
like
and there
if
are
you-
accusations that some of them are complicit.
yeah, if you look at a battered wife syndrome, right, where like the wife does anything in order to please the husband, but is like vindictive and evil towards the child. It's kind of like that, you know, like the child can't do anything, right? So it's like, oh, people online on Reddit, like what the fuck are they going to do? Versus,
Well, exactly.
yeah, versus like people that actually go out in the street and riot. It's like, okay, well, we're not going to piss them off. And and this is like another
Well,
thing, like
yeah.
with all of this, like policing the internet for hate speech versus knife crime going around, or policing the internet for cartoons and memes, while actual grooming gangs are happening. It's like it's a lot easier to break into the door of like some 45-year-old mom that's like posting edgy on Facebook, than to go after
what
someone
is
from the cartel.
how edgy is what like a middle-aged to elderly woman posting on Facebook comparative to
Give
actual
them
violence.
6
But
months
again,
time, and
they
they're gonna make the
Well,
right
there were
hate.
cases, right? Like there were cases
Yes,
where
yes.
ladies were arrested, and I don't know what the fuck
Absolutely.
they posted. But what I do know is that they put the fear of God into them, and they had to confess that what they did is bad, and so they got
Yes.
prison time. Yeah.
For speech, yes. Now, it is important to note that there is no right to free speech in the UK, such as there is in the United States. And that's why a lot of this is able to happen. But the censorship is a huge issue. Freedom of speech is an issue. But again, I don't think that ultimately this element, these new laws, really are intended to do anything about speech or about censorship. That is an added bonus. The biggest thing about this is digital ID in order to get your face and maybe your ID, although again,
Dox
it's all
yourself.
handled by private. Dox yourself,
Aydin. Dox yourself.
so that governments can know every single thing you do. And again, Apple pulled out because they weren't able to meet the demands. They were just like, well, the shit you're asking for is insane. You want access to all of our private customer data. They said no.
Out of hand at that. Like, not like they were applying for a specific subpoena or a warrant.
Yeah.
This was a blanket, just
Yeah.
all the information you
Do
have.
you know what I find weird? And maybe you can help me with
course.
this, Aydin, because like you have your finger on the pulse of the culture. And I've been on the internet for a while. Like I've been on the internet for a while. Like I see a lot of shit. Probably you as well, right? And like when did this whole conversation of like banning pornography, like not like there should be websites or no like complete outright ban off the internet, when did it start? Because like I've never heard it. Like even the most Christian people that I knew were like, okay, well, it exists, it's there, don't go there, right? But they were like, no, we need to start an entire fucking crusade, scorch it all down, burn it all down. Because the thing is like,
Yeah.
and not only that, it's like invite the government to do it.
Well, I'll tell you what I think happened with this. Because I didn't see I saw small rumblings amongst Christians of porn is bad. And by the way, there's been a lot of research
like,
that shows that
it is bad. It is a vice, right? Like all vices are bad. Like drinking is bad, gambling is bad, right? Like that's why they're vices.
Smoking, sure, yes.
Yeah.
And that's true. And I think most people recognize that it's probably not healthy. But what I did not see this mass cries from Christians who are now being blamed for this stuff. Instead, this is all manufactured consent stuff. And the way that it works psychologically is that because of the framing, which is that the only people who are against this bill are pedophiles and groomers and gooners, etc., is that when they hate Christ and they hate God also, it creates a psychological reactance in the people who are being attacked, and this is on purpose. We've seen this also with the Visa MasterCard stuff, is that in the last week there's been a huge rise of people saying, well, just parents need to parent better, and then parents feel attacked, which to be fair, they do need to parent better, and there are all kinds of ways to help protect your children, but they feel like they're being attacked, and then they go, why am I being attacked? Why are people mad at me? I mean, of course, the framework has made people angry at Christians, at parents who did not ask for this. People did not vote for this shit in the UK, okay? Like, just to be clear, no one voted for this. This was just decided upon.
Well, no,
and the point
I get
is to get regular people mad at each other to be like, yeah, oh, the Christians did this, or the conservatives did this. And it was a Tory bill originally, but Labour chose to enact it, just being clear.
Yeah, they're both.
The idea that it would be in that order is ridiculous. Like, these are two diametrically opposed parties.
Well, they're not. It's a uniparty.
Much like
He's joking. Yeah, he's joking.
Yeah. Big decision.
But like the thing that I don't get is like the word gooner itself, right? Like it used to be like back when I was younger, it was to be like pornography addiction is bad, right? And addiction was like someone that wasn't able to function in a society because he's like a compulsive masturbator or he's masturbates in public, right? Like someone with a mental illness like that. But now, like, just being, like, a heteronormative guy and you're liking the Sydney Sweeney outfit or you're liking, the Victoria's Secret catalog, that is enough to call you a gooner. And I'm like, when did this happen? Like, who branded these terms? Like when it's just like normal straight male sexuality, it's like, your dad would see a beer commercial with a chick that had like big tits and was like, oh yeah, that's nice. Your mom didn't file a divorce the next second, right? Like
Yeah.
that was like the normal culture. It was like normal, like for men to like look at an attractive woman and say, yeah, I'll grab her by the pussy, I'll do the presidential move. But like,
Well, how'd you get a sense of real life? I mean, there are hot women who exist. I'm sorry, ladies.
someone in my
Only
chat,
what is
someone in my chat said that number one reason that they're all now showing up is the elites don't want another Epstein situation where people simply mass disbelieve the government. No, I don't think that it is. I think
I
like
don't. Yeah.
I think they
Yeah.
just want to pass.
I wish it
these-
was that simple.
Yeah, I think they just want to pass these draconian laws, and they need a reason.
I think that the Epstein stuff being so forefront is most likely priming to make this as effective as they could.
Well, speaking of the forefront, what I don't think they could have predicted is that the day or 2 days before this law in the UK, the Online Safety Act, went into effect, that there would be a massive data breach or how many days? A couple days before it went into effect. A massive data breach of a million users, or however many it was, of that T app, who were all women, because it's a women-only app. And it's like, this is what happens when you give your ID over to private companies. It gets leaked, if not sold. Let's be clear about that, too. These companies just sell your data, okay?
If the product is free, you're the product.
And so it hit particularly bad because the people who they wanted to come out in mass support of these bills were largely women. To think of the children, Lovejoy types, right? Oh, think of the children, think of the women who are being harassed or whatever. And then they just reveal it happened just days beforehand that a bunch of women's identities got leaked. I don't have much sympathy for them using that app, okay? But
like IDs, full face scan, more or less, and we found out now it's all of their communications,
Yes.
all of it completely unencrypted.
Is
As of
there
today, yeah.
support for this bill though? Because
No.
No.
Not real.
Yeah, like the thing is, like, from what I can get, like, I don't know how it's on the streets, right? But I guess like the support for the bill is like a person that generally doesn't know or doesn't care, right? It's like, oh well, there's
yes.
like 16, whatever,
Whoops.
But like you don't have like people that are going out of their way to convince you, like, no, this is the case, unless they're shills, or they're like ideologically possessed and they're just on that side of the fence. But like from what I can see, like most people overwhelmingly are either against it or they're neutral.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's a psychological aspect here in that if you feel like, well, my side or my typical sort of way of thinking about things aligns against this because they're only catching little bits of the news. So the parts that they catch are what the politicians are saying, which is that, well, this is to protect children, and anyone who is against it is, again, gooner, nonce, whatever. And that's all people hear, and then they kind of just tune it out. They pick their side, and then they have to stick to it, and then they don't know what to do when faced with contradictory evidence. I've had so many people act so stupid to me on Twitter over the last few days. Regarding the TF, so I had asked ChatGPT to anonymize the faces of some of the women who were on the T app and turn them into cartoons, so you can get a kind of idea here what these women look like.
That's such a good idea. I should have done so as well, because like I was like, oh, I can't.
I stole it from Barian.
Yeah, I can't show this on the stream because yeah.
It's people's private information, but these are pretty accurate, I would say, depictions of the women who were using the T app.
Can you
who are calling you an
tell
incel.
what you said about them?
And the funny thing is that you gotta mention that these ladies, they want a 6'5" man with
who makes at least $1 million a year.
Yeah.
Ripped, shredded, and anything less is disgusting to them. Yeah.
Did you know
So-
that there's a game? There's a game where you go on a website and you have like one of the ladies versus another, and you have to choose who wins, and she gets like a higher
Yes.
elo.
It's been deleted.
Did they?
I found it very quickly, and I was contributing to the ELO.
Like
and this
some
is
of
the
them
thing-
are so fucking hard. Like a lot of the
it's
decisions were difficult.
unbelievable. It was a real Sophie's choice for some of them.
Well, we
there-
finally found it, folks. The most
Wait,
deranged thing we
wait,
said
wait.
on this podcast, and that's saying something considering what I come out with sometimes.
Explain the game, what?
Okay, so someone uploaded the entire database of all the women whose pictures and IDs, and here's the thing, it was the direct data leak, because sometimes you would just click, all right, next match, and it would match up 2 pictures of people from the data leak, and it would just be a picture of like a wall or the ground or a blank page, or it would be I saw one that was a picture of a note that said, I ain't doing that Face ID shit, nah, or something like that. So
that's the other part. This is the fact that the system currently in place is completely ineffective and is relying entirely on like the kind of scam like logic you'd expect from like Indian scammers.
Yeah.
So
by the way, do you guys know there's been a second breach?
On Tia.
Yeah,
the messages.
Yes.
The messages.
Yeah,
yes.
the messages one.
It's not
and
really
so
a
what you would
breach,
do,
like they made
No.
it public.
Oh
right?
yes, let's be clear. Also, that's another thing to be clear about, is that this is being described as a hack. It was not a hack. It was a publicly accessible data file that they just opened. That's it. And all of these women's faces, including their IDs in many cases, because that's the other thing, is why you can't play this game on stream, obviously, outside of the fact that it's got people's private faces on it, is that it also just straight up has their IDs.
Yeah, you're looking at what, £2 million per person data protection breach fine.
I have to know. Please tell me the security was done by a woman.
Yes, in fact, well, I don't know if it was done entirely by women, but what they called it was vibe coding, where vibe coding is, from my understanding, when you go to ChatGPT or Grok and say, hey, computer, hello, computer, can you code for me? And then just put that into your website. That's my understanding of vibe coding. Which is a bit explicitly done by non-professionals.
It's the coding equivalent, like wandering through the back alleys in a major city, like searching through the bins for a discarded firearm, and then checking if it's loaded by putting it into your mouth and pulling the trigger repeatedly.
Just to be sure, right?
Whilst biting it.
Does VIBE stand for visible information to basically everyone?
No, that's women
really
like
good acronym,
vibes.
though. And
if you give them the ick, these are just fucking gay women.
Vibe is just
words.
intuition.
Yeah, intuition, meaning it's not coded realistic in any serious way. It's silly.
I love how you described it. Like you can't really put it into words. It's like if you give them the ick, it's like a state of mind. It's like,
yeah, I coded with vibes. I don't need. But that's what it is. It's absolutely ridiculous. So this is, I think, the problem for a lot of these bills that are all now coming under scrutiny, that are in the process of being voted on, and of course the OSA has been passed. Is that it occurred at the exact same week that a bunch of women who would have been the online chevaliers of this shit, all of a sudden are really worried about their personal security because all their faces are being plastered all over the internet and everyone is making fun of them. They don't like that. So just incredible serendipity. I don't think that was planned in any way. I think that was actually a major accident that none of these governments could have predicted.
I actually know why it happened, right? Because the way that the law was sold was that, do you want porn websites to, have like more robust verification for minors?
Yeah.
And most people go like, yeah, like, of course,
sure.
I want a little Billy. I want a little Billy to go on porn. I don't want it. But what they don't realize...
a totally reasonable thing.
Yeah, but what they don't realize is that, hold on a little bit, like pornography exists on X, pornography exists on Discord, pornography exists on Reddit, pornography exists on your search engines.
Apparently on Spotify.
And now that we're on the idea that you should protect minors, right? Like, why should minors watch violent content? Why should minors watch, certain extremist content? And so once you start doxing yourself, well, the next step is like we restrict more and more stuff. Interesting, gambling is not restricted. Like, I found that to be absolutely fascinating for some reason. Don't know why.
Yeah, this is actually... I don't know if you've seen this, because I've seen no evidence of this. Why are the OnlyFans girls not revolting? Because I've not seen any of them talking about this, which makes me think that they're... Well, I think it's because they're not being affected.
But they're not, because like if you go on OnlyFans, right? Like, how do they make money? By showing a credit card.
Credit card.
Yeah.
And that used to be the standard, right? Is that if you can show a credit card, it means you're an adult and you have a credit card.
Yeah, but
so
now
understand that's our premise, is that already if you have access to a credit card, you are now not an adult. That used to be okay. No, now they need your face. Now they need your ID.
Well,
Your name attached to a credit card is no longer enough.
Like their idea is like, what if you stole mommy and daddy's credit card? And it's like, well, what if you stole mommy and daddy's ID, you dipshit? And now
What if you stole just someone else's credit card? You just mugged somebody.
What if your face scan is just a fucking bobblehead, as we've demonstrated works?
Oh well, there was
Or
like
Norman
baby,
Reedus.
there was like a babyface Lou that was actually a streamer over the age of 18, and now they lost their Discord account because babyface can't get the facial recognition.
And
that's the other thing, is that the AI technology that they're using in some websites, not in all instances, some websites do want your ID. Some want you to just take a video of your face in motion. Gee, wonder what they want that for. Some just want a photo, in which case kids are getting around that by taking pictures from Death Stranding. Because of course. That's the other thing, is that this is entirely ineffectual. Damn, lost my train of
you know
thought.
who I really
It's so much shit.
You know who I really want
ends.
having a scan of my face? I want companies like Pornhub, you know, the ones who are profiting massively off of like AI generated pornography and trafficking, and will repeatedly find massive amounts of money for just leaving up like criminal evidence on the fucking website.
Dude, like literally the pinned stuff on Reddit and on 4chan, like just like minutes after this was released, was made by a teenager, which said, go on Google Gemini, ask it to make you a video of a man that is posing for facial ID recognition, mouth closed, mouth open, 5 seconds, mouth closed, 5 seconds, mouth open. Boom, bam. That's it.
So
it's like millions of dollars spent, right? For companies that are unable now to compete, like if you're a small company like BitChute, Gab, 4chan, you don't have the staff.
Rumble was sent a direct letter. Yeah,
they can't compete.
So was Kiwi Farms, by the way.
and so, like, teenagers that have absolutely no choice, right, because they don't have an ID, they will still use this. Like, they can just go and find a way to bypass it. While adults that still want to use Twitter or they want to use Reddit, they will be like, well, you know, like, I'm obviously not going to make a Norman Reedus character. It's like too much of a
Well, they don't have to, so they just give over their
ID.
ID.
I'll just show my ID, right?
Yep.
And that's what it's all about.
Yep, and that's how it works, too, is because the children who want to bypass this will get creative, as they always have. They will get creative. Well, yeah, but they don't even have to be that creative, to be fair. And as far as I know, still, by the way, all you have to do to bypass this shit currently, now the VPN issue is in debate. Parliament has said currently they're not going to go after VPNs, but let me be clear as to why they're not going after VPNs right now. It's because a shit ton of their contractors use private VPNs currently. So they can't do that, or else all their contractors won't be able to work.
It's not
so
only that, they're doing it doing it through the private system. Like, I've seen ISPs blocking VPNs.
Yes. Yeah, right. Again, it lets them, you know,
before the VPN
wash their hands of it.
We had this back when like Bitcoin mining was still coming out. Everyone's wondering, why are we allowing this, considering how it's like massively taxing the power system and all this. And then you find that like, the IT departments throughout the entirety of like the British state have been like sneaking it into websites. I think something like 94% of British government website pages were running Bitcoin mining operations within the page. 94%. That means that pretty much everyone within the IT structure of the British state was in on it.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, this is here's this. Brits can get around Discord's age verification thanks to Death Stranding's photo mode, bypassing the measure introduced with the UK's Online Safety Act. The thing is, again, kids are creative if they want to find this stuff. They have been They have been restricted in no way. The other thing that you can do, I am using Chrome here right now, but I have Brave up as my other browser. Download Brave, turn on Tor. You're good. Like, you don't even need to pay for a VPN. Just download Brave and turn on Tor. You know, like, I mean, it's unbelievably easy to get around.
Hold on,
and young people are smart and can figure this shit out.
Well, here's the other thing.
Regular people who will just give their ID over, not children.
This is what I'm also hating in modern dialect. Like, when did the word teenager just completely disappear from the conversation? Like, it used to be.
That's on purpose, yeah.
Right? Like, it used to be when you say children, you'd think like 5 or 6 year olds. But like, motherfucker, when I was 16, you know, like the shit that I was about to do that. And not only that, but like the ways that I knew to get around stuff. Like, if I was there now, like, I know a guy from my fucking school. I know a guy that would literally steal his ID from his mama and dada, and then just make photocopies of it and sell it to the rest of the class. I know the fucking guy from my fucking school that would have done that. What do you mean, Jesus? It's like, what type of school did you go to? Like, were everyone a saint? You know, like
even I was in pubs at like 14. And
exactly, like the level of hustling.
Well, to be fair, the drinking age is 16 here, so like.
No, it's not. It's 18.
Oh, it's 18 now, but when you were younger.
What school did I go?
No, it wasn't.
I went to a private Christian school, V.
I see. Well, here's the thing, right? Like in Romania and most Eastern Europe, there was no drinking age. Like there was officially one, but like most people didn't follow it. Guess what? People weren't like drinking themselves to death at the age of 16. Like, even though there was no legislation. Yeah, you had parents. Exactly, right? Like, even though there was nothing, like, the government wasn't stopping you, there was, like, no case where you'd go on the street and you'd find, like, teenagers drinking themselves to death. Meanwhile, in the UK, you get to see this, like, in The Guardian, like, posts with, like, women drinking themselves and pissing themselves on the street, especially on New Year's and shit. And it's like, well, because they didn't do that when they were growing up. You grow up, you know, you're, like, 16, you go to a party, you get a beer, you come home, mama sees you drunk, gives you a whooping, applies the correction. That's it, you learn. But when you're an adult and you have no filter and you've never learned and you go to a party and you drink yourself silly and then you piss yourself on the street and you appear into The Guardian, well, you know, your reputation is ruined. You probably lose your job. No one wants to associate with you, right? But like, hey, it's a better system, I guess, right? Because like the government gets to step in.
Yeah, great. Yeah, excellent. It's all of it is so patently ridiculous. And I think I want to go back to the issue of parents, because like I said, there's something that's baked into all of this, which is intergroup conflict. Because what I've seen on the internet, at least in terms of the chatter, is that again, it's like you're either a nonce or you're a parent. And I have seen a lot of parents also do this thing where it's like, I absolutely can do nothing. There is nothing I can do in any way to parent my child. I need the government to do it. I don't know how many of these people are real, though. But I would say that if you are a parent who is absolutely incapable of ticking a box that your internet service provider gives you to easily set up restrictions on what your household internet can do, and it can easily set up for a phone, because I think that at this point, I understand parents say, oh, I can't not let my teenager have a phone because then they'll be ostracized by their peers. But you can still set up very easy. It's like meant to be and is designed to be as easy as possible to set up these parental guidelines. I think, I'm sorry, if you are a parent and you need the government to come in and do that because you can't click a box, why are we not more worried about those people's ability to parent in general? If you can't do that, how is that person?
I don't know if parents.
But if that person can't click a right,
yeah, but like,
how can they do anything?
I don't know if like a lot of parents are like that, but you're kind of right. You know, like back in my day, you would just go outside and you had like no cell phone. You had like nothing. Like your parents didn't know where you are. Right? Like, you're just, like, you stop existing. And when you'd go outside, like, there was hustling, like, there were gang members. There was, like, a lot of shit, right? Nowadays, like, in 2025, you can install spyware on your kid's device. Like, you have parental controls. You get, like, devices that have, like, hardware built into them to make sure that, you know, like, kids can't access certain websites. Like the very idea that now there's like a moral crisis of unprecedented level is astonishing to me.
Well, it's not real.
I think it's more of a safety crisis.
It's not real. All of this, the concerted and collaborative international effort has nothing to do with the protection of children. And it's pretty fucking clear. I don't think that, again, every single internet service provider in the first world or in most of Europe and the US, Australia, UK, where this is being debated or enacted, your internet service provider will provide you with tools to do this easily. Your cell phone, if you buy a cell phone for your child, they will provide you with tools to turn this off. The idea that this is outside of parents' ability to protect their kids from is absurd. And I do have to ask the question that for the couple of parents, and I don't think it's a lot of them, who genuinely say, I can do nothing about, I can't be asked to click a box. I can't be asked to say, no, I'm going to set this phone on child mode or whatever. I would be really concerned about the welfare of that child in that household. If that's, I just
It's
I
also,
hate to say
it's
that,
also
but
like
it's
this
true.
level of safetyism culture that we're in, right?
Mhm.
Where, like, I know it's harsh to say and it's politically incorrect, but like, what's wrong with a little danger? Like the idea that like everything a child should do should be super mega hyper safe. Okay, what happens
Mhm.
when he's 18 and like the super mega hyper safety is no more? Right, like you don't allow for a period of accommodation. There's no more like teenager, like a period where it's like an in between. They're like teenagers now. They get
Yeah.
some rights, but like they get more
But you're
responsibility.
still protected.
Return
Yeah.
Yeah.
to Mad Max level of society.
Yeah, now it's
But-
like pretty
I know it's
much,
probably
you know,
that.
like the
Parents
safety.
have to provide that though. It is the duty of
What,
the
the Mad
parents.
Max environment?
No, it's the duty of the parents to provide that
Excuse me,
environment that lets kids explore the real world they're about to enter safely when they're teenagers,
It's
right?
also it's also like the question, you know, like are you actually building like resilient people, like strong individuals that are capable, or are you building like actual pussies? Like I don't know how else to say it, but like I'm looking at how I grew up, and you know it was harsh. But like looking at this idea, zero bullying tolerance policy. Don't say shit online. Don't say mean stuff online, because like you get in trouble and blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, so like where's the interpersonal drama? Like where do they learn how to handle themselves and how to stand up for themselves? Like if everything is scattered, everything is provided for them.
Yeah, it's very different. I mean, you're expected to explore the world a little bit as you're growing up, and I listen to Child Logic almost every day. I listen to his streams, and he's got young kids too, or at least a kid, and he talked about how the reality is you don't know what your kids do while they're at school. As a parent, you don't have any control over some things.
If I wanted to, I would figure it out. Like I would have like a system of informants. Like you go there and you bribe some of his colleagues to rat him out. Like come on. Like
That is the old school communist.
the very idea that like my kid can be somewhere without my knowledge. Like if it's outside my knowledge, it exists without my consent. No, like I am fucking god of the universe when it comes to my kid. Like, if I'm at the age of 40 and I cannot psychologically dominate a child, like, then what the fuck am I doing?
How old is your kid now, B?
1 year.
Yeah, so you got a while to worry about it, I guess. But you know,
So that's why you know they're ready to fly the nest. Is they can finally evade your like massive network of informants.
You go there with a candy van, and people think it's like, oh, you're a child molester. No, I'm a child informer. I need to know what my son is doing.
I'm here to take your children. I'm here to knock on them.
Oh yeah, the
I
child
could just picture V talking to his kid like, listen here, motherfucker. I grew up under
Absolutely.
communism. I know things that you will never be able to
Oh,
unsee.
absolutely. Dude, I will, whenever my wife gives him money, I will take taxes away from him and give it in front of a homeless guy right in front so he can see. Make him fucking work. He does the chores. My wife gives him money, and now I'm the government. I'm taking your taxes. My kid will despise fucking taxes like no tomorrow. Like when he
unfathomably based.
How to raise a libertarian. It's the Romanian way.
I guarantee to you, at the age of 14, he's going to be taxation and theft. My dad steals from me. It's like, how? He taxes me. Gives it to homeless people. I feel like, yes.
It's an increasingly...
So he's going to hate taxes and the homeless.
Be accurate to the state. Give the money to someone to go berate the homeless guy for being homeless.
To be fair,
so he gets no benefit whatsoever.
That's just the experience of anyone who has boomer parents. Apparently, like statistically, from the looks of it, it's just that as the boomers are retiring and dying, is that they're all going, actually, I'm going to give all of my money to Palestine and fuck you.
I'm going to turn it into gold, melt it, and
if
use
you
it to
want,
plate my carcass.
like you can make your kid be religious, or you can make your kid be a woke individual. It doesn't really matter, and you don't use the classic way, right? Like the classic way is taking him to church. That doesn't fucking work. What you need to do, right? You want to make him an atheist, right? Every single time he suffers, it's like Jesus says you need to endure, right? Like Jesus says I need to take your money and give it to the poor. Jesus says this. Jesus says that. He will hate religion. Alternatively, you can say it's for equality. We need equality. Equality requires this. Equality requires that. This is for the greater good.
He will framing.
He will become religious. Right? Like this is literally how you do.
You'll
Like
also make him hate women.
Well, it's psychological reactance, and there's it's a well-documented phenomenon, which is adolescent egocentrism and adolescent risk-taking. We know this because of all of the fucking vast amounts of data that have measured this. children, and when they, excuse me, not children, you're right, let's call them teenagers, need to establish themselves as independent people. They are becoming adults. They don't want to do what their parents tell them to do or believe. So yeah, if you want to encourage your child towards a certain perspective on the world, probably push for the opposite of what
literally, this is what most people
like,
don't understand, right? Because like most people think, oh, I'll push them to the positive and they'll become positive. No, you become Satan. You push them to the negative, and they will they will rebel against you, and they will become positive. Pretty much how it fucking works. Yeah.
Take the gunnery sergeant approach.
Yeah, exactly.
They need something they don't need someone to guide them right now. They're in the teenage years. They're that weird lapse in morality that we all experience. They need someone to hate.
Exactly. And when they will say like, oh, I'm going to spite you. How? By going to the university and getting good grades. And I'll be like, oh no. Don't do that.
This is the definitive, I think, evidence about how this is not about kids, because they just said it. What happened is they just started saying it on television. Oh God, it doesn't work.
I swear to God, we're going to end up in a conversation of like, but what is a child? And the reason you're going to end up.
Oh my God!
And I will tell
no,
you
not
why.
the Vosh debate.
I will tell you why, because like in the UK, right, they want 16 years old to vote, right?
Yes,
so, like,
this is important
16,
to note.
You get to vote. So, and you can join the army. You can be a child soldier, according to the brand new definition of California. Because, like, for some reason, California said 18 is adult, and the entire human population of planet Earth now has to adhere to that, despite the fact that in Europe, 16 is usually the age of consent. But okay, right? So in Britain, you can have child soldiers, but they can vote, and they can't watch protests online. They can't watch stuff on Reddit. They can't watch 4chan. They
can't see what's happening in their own town regarding protests, and yet are being asked to make informed voting decisions.
They cannot get
How ridiculous is this?
The wisdom of Josh Moon has been deprived from them, because like Kiwi Farms apparently has been banning the holy kingdom of Britain United.
Well, there's something interesting that happened with that. When I was back in the UK last in March, that was still when Josh was blocking the UK because of Ofcom. But at some point, he just kind of like forgot to update it. So you can, well, I don't know if you can now, but for a while you could access Kiwi Farms from the UK. It doesn't affect, this is the other thing, none of this affects us here in Guernsey, by the way, which is a crown protectorate, but we're not
Didn't he get like a message? Didn't he get a message
yes,
from
let me bring it up.
Like Ofcom? So like they had, like
yes,
he's got a morbidly obese corporeal manifestation. I'm probably telling you this, and she probably has like some clothing on her hair. You know, like an Orthodox woman showing piety and monitoring Kiwi Farms, like constantly logging on. Can I log in now? Can I log in, Josh? Am I allowed in? Knock, knock, Josh. Knock, knock.
Here is the letter they sent to her, the email. Dear representatives of LOLCAL LLC, we are...
Doesn't quite hit you home till you hear it out loud.
Right. You gotta know, like, he planned for this. It's like, one day some twat is going to give me a mail, and when I read
right. We Ofcom note that as of 23rd of July 2025, the full Kiwi Farms website including posts, comments, and images appears to be accessible to UK. This is the most hilarious, by the way, threat, which is that if you don't do it, we'll just do it ourselves. Okay, wow, I'm shaking in my boots. Having previously been made unavailable to UK users following our communication with you in April of 2025, considering this development, please clarify the following: whether LOLCAL LLC intends to reinstate these restrictions, and if so, the expected timeline. If there's no intention to reinstate, the measures LOLCAL LLC has taken. As outlined previously, the purpose of the OSA is to protect UK-based users of internet services from exposure to illegal content and material that may be harmful to children. The OSA requires that providers of services with links to the UK take action to protect users in the UK. It does not require them to protect users based anywhere else in the world. That's very funny, Ofcom, considering that that's not what you've actually done in practice. Anyway, we will continue to monitor the functionality available in UK users via Kiwi Farms. Strongly encourage local LLC to take necessary steps to meet obligations.
Bit, right? Like, Kiwi Farms doesn't have pornography, right? Like, that's, you know, Josh yelling at the sky. Every single time he yells at the sky, I'm like, okay, it's about porn, isn't it? And so, like, why is Ofcom protecting children from a website that has no pornography?
No porn. It's one of Josh's, like, cardinal rules is no porn.
The man is like a monk inside the monastery, clenching to his Bible. Like, keep those evil depictions of anime women away from me. And get them away from my race and my people. And it's like,
You can
that's,
find people.
yeah, like that's the website you're targeting, really?
Now you can find people's doxes and personal identifying information on KF, but you can't find pornography to the best of my knowledge, because Josh doesn't. Yeah, because he hates anime and he hates anime porn.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is not a website hosting the anime
I feel
porn.
like I would get along with him.
Josh is an interesting figure. I like Josh, but yeah, like this is the letter that he was sent from from Ofcom to Lolcow LLC, and it's not the only thing too. On the here's the Rumble letter, just to be clear,
People
that they
are
sent to
telling me
Rumble.
that there is pornography on Kiwi Farms. Ah.
Is there really? I thought.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't
wait a
browse
minute.
it that fucking awful. Like I used to go there when.
It's probably the locals, people of interest, personal pornography, right?
Ah, okay, then it
Like-
counts. I'm sorry. The
like
children, the
the-
children of Britain must be kept safe.
But
We need
but
to
hang
shut
on,
it
there's
down.
no anime pornography, so
That-
therefore
well,
it shouldn't be an
hold
issue,
on.
right?
Oh, so are you saying like children should be able to view like real people, just not the anime?
Well,
no?
again, why are the OnlyFans thoughts not freaking out? Because yes, as we said, it's about the credit card
cards,
stuff.
Yeah.
But they're now saying credit cards aren't enough. So curiously, it seems that this is going less hard against real pornography, and OnlyFans has this additional
I
element
actually
tagged
know
onto it,
this.
which
like,
is
I actually know
the
why it's
interpersonal.
happening, right?
Yeah.
I actually know behind the scenes things. Like I have a person that used to work at Disney, was pretty high up, and I also had a person that used to work at Vice, and they actually did the attack on
The Tim Pool.
pornography for several interests. And one of them is that anime was competing really hard with Disney back when Marvel and DC was failing. Like they were absolutely
yes.
dominated and trashed. And so it's also has to do with China, because the Chinese also have interests in exercising
Yes.
soft power over Japan.
Mhm.
It also has to do with like the streaming services, because like they too wanted to be able to position themselves as having terms of service, so that like no anime can exist outside their bounds. And it's also Marvel and Disney, and they released that Vice article, which if you look like managed to get the Pulitzer Prize nomination,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
In
I
order
remember
to,
this.
to
yeah.
ban in the mind of the normies that literally every anime, everything under the fucking sun is pornographic, dangerous, and horrible. And so this is why the actual pornographers, like the ones from with real people and shit, you know, like the Pornhubs, they're also against like the cartoon, because they're competing with each other. You know, like you have an artist that can just doodle something, like he doesn't need any paperwork, he doesn't need any consent forms. It's just like a fucking drawing, right? But then you have like an actual studio that requires to get IDs from the ladies. It actually needs to have consent, and it needs to follow
Right.
like various bureaucratic shit. They don't want to compete like that, right? So,
No.
cracking down on anime content, this is why like Elon Musk's now AI is considered childlike and stuff like that.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's Misa from Death Note, who may be a teenager, but it's just a goth girl. You know?
Yeah, but like this whole thing is like, number one, it's ideological. Like there are people that generally believe that it's bad, but there's also like financial interests. There's also
Yes.
like strategic
interests.
interests
Thank
with
you.
corporations and stuff.
Yeah, why is it going so hard against the anime titties? But I'm not seeing rumblings from, well, speaking of Rumble, I'm not seeing rumblings from the OF thoughts.
Oh, I can tell you
Well,
that. I'll tell
Yeah.
you. Like for instance, in Romania, right? Like many people don't know about certain politics that happen behind closed doors, but politicians behind closed doors are very pragmatic, cynical, not very ideological driven. In Romania, I think like the number of OnlyFans girls is around 100,000. Those women,
Jesus.
That's still insane. Their numbers are way inflated too.
okay, hold on. Those women, they not only do they pay taxes, but they also hire staff. They hire accountants. They hire lawyers. They hire people that do the sound quality and the visual, like the editing and stuff like that. They're not the biggest, but they're a significant industry in a nation that doesn't actually have any industry, because most of the industry is in China. Right? And this industry is not very regulated, unlike others, right? So, like, it's just like a place where the government can tax the living shit out of it. Politicians can also get in on the grift. This used to be in the medieval time with brothels and with sex clubs and with all of that. Like, nothing changed. Is that just now it's online, right? So, like, the whores from the street are now in their own bedroom, not doing sex, not actually meeting with someone else, just taking lewd pictures of themselves. Like, that's 2025 here.
Another aspect is also on an industry level. A lot of Disney's animated features, they use the same like South Korean animation studios as some of the anime like companies do for like B-roll. and secondary animation. So by doing this, they have probably ripped the asshole out of the market there, and mean that they'll be able to drive prices down because they'll essentially be driving down the competition in the anime industry.
Mm. But
Also have
anyway,
Korean
what
sweatshop animators out there.
You're right with that. But like what I wanted to say that's a little bit different is that if you were to destabilize this industry, right? Like this is just Romania, but like many European nations are the same. If you were to destabilize this industry overnight, you'd have economies collapse. Because like a lot of nations are not, like the OnlyFans are part of like the content creators. There's just like one website, but you also have like the Instagram models, and you have like other, like individuals that are like just part of that ecosystem. And then you attack the crypto bros, you put it on that, and you have like the TikTok influencers. That's actually a significant percentage of the economy. And so, like, if you were to get rid of them overnight, you would manage to destroy the economy of entire nations. Not significantly, like not to the point where you get into a Great Depression, but it destabilizes stuff, especially now in a period where European nations are going through a recession anyway, right? And we're going to see what it will happen in China, because China actually bought OnlyFans, and for a lot of Chinese young girls that were like going into 18, it was like their one source of income. You will see like the economical consequences of that in 2 or 3 years. I know it sounds funny. I know it sounds ridiculous. I know many people, they don't want to engage with it because blah, blah, blah. But, like, this is what some politicians actually discuss behind closed doors, right? Like, they treat it as a serious industry. It's a billion-dollar industry.
Oh, Aydin, you cut out a bit there.
The bad part for this? The bad part is that most of the stuff was happening on the streets before OnlyFans. Like, you had people going outside, and they're going to strip clubs, they were going to like nightclubs and that type of shit, right? Like all these young girls, like they wouldn't be on OnlyFans. They would be like a club that they would serve drinks at 2 a.m. in the morning to strangers, right? So like without the option, like they're going to go back to what they used to do. Like they're not going to become doctors and engineers, right? Like the economy is not going to get these ladies. It's like, oh, well, I guess now they're not doing OnlyFans. Surely they will go to church. You didn't change their mind, right? Like the government didn't say that what they're doing is bad. They just increased the demand and they removed the supply. And so like they're going to go into a similar business, probably one that involves them going outside of their house.
Oh, Aydin, you're muted.
I'm muted?
Aydin is.
Oh, it's because I sneezed. Sorry. So I muted myself. That brings up also a whole bunch of other issues that lead into this or that are related to it, which is that the people that this actually harms the most are children. Well, and let's be, again, more clear, are teenagers who are going to be trying to explore these things. And let's hope not OF for underage children, obviously, but like they're going to be looking around at this stuff. Now they have to go to dark web websites, quote unquote. They have to try and get around this stuff, which even means that they're less protected by anything like that. It's going to take it still is probably going to take their personal information so that they can sell it to advertisers. Children are made inherently less safe by this.
I mean, I'm not trying to defend pornography. Just I'm just talking the reality, right? Like giving the context. I think the future, and I'm pretty sure that this will be the case, is offline AI. Right? Because like the offline, like the problem with pornography isn't just like the people making it, but it's like the customers, right? Like the men that go there and pay. And so if the men, instead of going and paying a real woman, they just have like an offline AI shit that gives them what they want. You have like a Gemini, and you just say like, I want 2 real actors, not the animation. Like I want 2 real actors to do blah, blah, blah. And you have a laptop and bam, you get it. Well, you can have like a woman that wants to do OnlyFans, but like who the fuck is paying for that? Right? And so, like, I definitely think that this is what's going to be the future, and this is what's going to destabilize the actual adult industry. It's going to be offline AI that's... And I also think, like, this is how people are going to bypass all of this censorship, right? Because you go on the internet, you get, like, a lot of vitriol, like, especially on Twitter. Like, you get, like, various bubbles arguing with each other constantly.
Good times.
Yeah, being forced to dox yourself, like, all this other nonsense. And people will be like, well, I can just have like a virtual assistant on my laptop or something. No one gives a shit. No one talks about it. There you fucking go, right? And you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Well, I mean, you can pay for some of it, but yeah, there's tons of these services that offer AI generated pornography. All of these AIs that can make images like this. I don't know. I don't think you can use like Grok and ChatGPT. Maybe.
I don't
Can
know,
you
but
use
like
like?
I guess like there are like images ones, right? Like what is
Yeah.
it called? Diffusion or some shit.
Stable Diffusion does video stuff. They maybe do porn too.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know, but they have to be out there. Oh, there was one that I used for a while when the AI stuff was emerging, that novel AI. So like before a lot of the new models came out, I used that one because it was free. And their whole thing was it's anime style. It built its model off of anime style images, and you could make anime porn with it. That was like the whole appeal of novel AI. It's not as good now as many like any other AI service. If you want to be like I made an AI image for this of Lovejoy from The Simpsons, as Commissar. It's not as good for stuff like it never was good for stuff like that, but it would make some bizarre images that I would try to give it direction. But yeah, that's an anime AI porn site, that anyone can use. And so yeah, I think you're exactly right. Is that what it's gonna if you've restricted the pornography. Again, kids aren't stupid. They'll find ways around this. And it illustrates how this is not in any way designed to protect children.
Well, by that merit, like, what are going to be the repercussions in other industries? Think of, okay, every major Western country just tried to launch these bills simultaneously. The quality of life is probably about to dip from first world down to second, third, or possibly fucking fourth.
Well, I can tell you what I think they're going to do, which is they're going to dump all this shit, then go, oh, we've realized that maybe there's a little issue. They will no, they're going to retract like 1% of it, and people will cheer. People will cheer for the 1% retraction. Yeah, because it's less. It's called, in persuasion researchers, it's called a door in the face tactic. They've already slammed the door in your face. They've already offended you, and they'll be like, oh no, we'll open it up for you just a little bit, just a fraction of percent, and people will cheer.
By the way, I have to go. Thank you for inviting me. It was great.
Yes. Yeah, thanks, man, for hanging out.
Right. Let me know when else I can come, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Scrump had somebody come up last minute because you couldn't do the D&D reunion. But yeah, thanks for coming by, man.
That's right here.
Anyway, cheers.
Cheers. Bye bye.
All right, I'm just going to read a couple of super chats. Like, I'm sorry I have to go that fast, but I'm married, so I have obligations. I told my wife that no streaming after 11. Okay, let's see what the chat has said, because I couldn't talk to you guys while I was doing the stream. So, let me see. What super chats did I miss? SRC Baker, the Brits can hire me. I will block Tor for them. I just turned on the deep packet inspection of the IPS core router. It is true, like, I generally don't know why people believe that, oh, well, there's a workaround. Like, surely the government doesn't know what they're doing. Because, like, yeah, but, like, they can hire someone like SRC Baker. Like, there are people that it's not like, oh, I don't want to work with the government. Like, of course they want to work with the government if they're paid, right? And there are solutions for everything. Now, obviously, what will happen is an arms race, right? Like, the government will crack down, people will find solutions. And the question is, like, do you want to live like that? Especially, like, unlike, you know, the ad block where with YouTube and the between YouTube and the ad blockers. In this case, like, it's going to end up with fines and stuff, right? Like, the company, like, for instance, the social media platform that allows for such a thing to, like teenagers to bypass their age verifications, like, they're going to be fined. And so, like, accounts will be lost. Like, seriously, imagine if you have a kid, right? Let's say he's 15, manages to get banned from Discord or some shit. Well, not Discord, but let's say Google Mail, right? Gets banned from Google Mail. He will never be able to create a Google account again. Like, the rules of Google say, once you get banned, you're banned forever. You're banned for life. And so imagine going through life without being able to use Google services. It's like if you're in a first world country, if you're in Britain, for instance, and it depends what you want to do, right? Like, if you want to be a plumber, you can make it around. But, like, if you want a respectable profession, like you want a job in the academia or some shit, or you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, you're fucked. You're absolutely fucked. Like, that's going to stay on you. Like the AI is going to find out, oh, this guy was banned from Google. They're going to treat you exactly the same way that they treat a person that's a criminal, right? So it's a convict. Ministry of Rogue thing. Give me a man a free plane ticket. He'll fly for a day. Give a communist a free helicopter ride. He'll fly for the rest of his life. He never said that. Oh shit says, you know how to fix most of the problems with modern kids? Give them a bicycle. That's actually a good idea. Yeah, like exercise actually works. I wouldn't just say a bicycle. I would say like find something that your son likes, whether it's like karate, ninjutsu, like whatever the fuck, you know. I'm just making it up. But like any type of combat, like if you have a son, go for any type of contact sport, right? Like any type of sport that requires contact, whether it's kickboxing, whatever. They will enjoy that a lot. It's not a coincidence that the UK made this law about minors on the internet right after giving them the right to vote. It's about holding a narrative. Not everything is planned, by the way. Like at the government, it's not that they have a master plan like Zinch. It's more like competing interests, right? So like if the Labour Party thinks that 16-year-olds are more likely to vote for them, and that will bring them like 10% of the vote, they will support that. Meanwhile, if it just so happened that another law can ban people under the age of 18 from watching protests, like why wouldn't they pass it, right? So like sometimes it's kind of like if people have the same interest and they get like 10 papers on their desk and they filter them from the optics of their interests, it ends up looking as if everything is planned and coordinated, when in reality it doesn't necessarily have to be. The chosen people on the corn sites, and we all know how the West feels about the chosen people. Well, apparently, you know, like, it's interesting, because, like, you think then that the Westerners would like Japanese people, but they don't, so. Good writing with the sexiest. You haven't even seen the sexiest guy bar. Shut the fuck up. SRC Maker, I'm a tech with witch whore. I will work for anyone who pays my price. Also, known as a capitalist motherfucker. A lot of people think like you. And that's, like, honestly, the Eastern European way of thinking as well. Not like people would be surprised just how many aren't ideologically possessed, and in fact, like what you will find, and I generally saw this, there are people that are ideologically possessed on the right. Like usually the left is ideologically possessed. It's like, oh my god, I'm not going to work for a Nazi. But on the right, I have seen people that are like, no, I'm a right winger. I will work for leftists, but I will charge them 3 times my price. And that's like a way of saying no in a polite way, because like they don't expect anyone to pay 3 times their price, but like if they pay it, they will work it, right? So it's kind of like let's see, you know, what are you going to do? If you're like desperate enough to hire me, sure, I'll work. Jackie Chan, thank you for the $5. Would you be willing to moderate a debate between Dev and Spoon? Get all the hostility out? No, I really hate doing all these debates, and I get, you know what, fuck it. I probably would. Yes, why not? Why the fuck not? I would. Yes, I'll moderate it and I'll do a good job. If Dev trusts me, I will not interfere. I will just let them iron it out. I think I can do it so that one of them asks a question and gives a rebuttal. The other one has like 3 minutes to speak. I can do it like a presidential thing, and I won't interfere at all. Anyway, chat, I need to go. I need to feed my family. I need to put my son to bed. And I'll see you all on my other channels. Take care.